ain't into breaking chicken, you can get about my business. This that real pimpin' east side, straight about the trenches. I'm that nigga you can't see, I specialize in breaking women. Gotta get it how I get it, you ain't with it, you can kick it. I'ma tell you what it is and what it ain't. I ain't finna take you on no date, lil' babe. You got two options, work a job or hit the blade. What you wanna do? Either way, I'm the one that's receiving all the pay. Money management services is what I orchestrate. Watch me boss your life up once you choose up with the play. I ain't interested in sex, I strictly want the severed heads. House cats the only thing that's sleeping inside my bed. Ain't got the time for relations, baby, I'm a businessman. Trying to see how much I can make off selling tuna cans. So we gon' get along good if you into tricking men. Just don't go against the grain if you wanna see us win, right? Himron, little baby, so you better come correct. I ain't nothing like these niggas, gotta earn all my respect. Watch your lip with open ears, I might just break you off some bread. This a different type of motion when you choose it with the man. If you ain't into selling kidding, I can let you run the business. It's 1,000 ways to pimp, we selling plates up out the kitchen. She my type, she like to listen, might just buy her braid extension. She don't test me, know the limits, so we never ever trip. I can put you in position, I'm a high value man. Pimpin' ain't dead, it just moved to OnlyFans. Only way I'll trust a bitch if she give me all the bands. That's how I know we locked in, yeah, we forever gon' win. Who you texting on that phone, it better be about some paper. I got trust issues, baby, so don't put me in no danger. I'ma kill you and them niggas if you ever try to play me. I need that money fast, so is you gon' be my hoe, baby, huh?
Stop. Stop. Hey man, you know what the fuck going on?
Man, been pushing pieces. I came out the P, nigga, real TYP shit, nigga.
Hey, real life rap, man. You know the drill. Fuck how you feel. Pop you like a pill. If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications. Slap the dog shit about yourself, cause that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this live stream. Alright, chat, what y'all doing? How y'all doing tonight? Hope everybody feeling good, living good, man. What's good, AC Walker, man? Staying true to it, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is not gonna be a real long stream, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a very interesting day tomorrow, bro. Not only do the YouTube grind go on, of course, you know what I'm saying? I gotta hit the clock tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm supposed to be doing a battle tomorrow. Calisthenics battle. You know what I'm saying? After work. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said interesting long day tomorrow. So, you know, it's gonna be a short stream. But we do have a couple videos we're gonna get into, man. As usual. Title of the stream, JiDion, your time has come. Let's see what it hit for.
After one of the worst documentaries came,
did we react to? We reacted to EDP. We didn't do JiDion. I don't think I reacted to JiDion. I know. The allegations around JiDion name though, or the it must be a set. Anyways, let's get to it.
After one of the worst documentaries came out about YouTuber EDP445, you would think that he would be who the internet is calling the villain. But the internet is turning their sights onto somebody else that was a part of catching EDP445 and claiming he's actually the biggest villain of them all.
I feel like I was a victim of EDP, but I think I was mainly a victim, this is gonna sound crazy, but mainly a victim of JiDion.
YouTuber JiDion claimed for years that he didn't know exactly the full story behind the whole EDP445 situation. But he did claim that there was going to be a documentary that would come out that would reveal all and make his name look so much better.
I think the documentary, the documentary is gonna tell all.
But now,
So he knew that he knew this documentary was coming out.
the documentary is out and claims are being made on his name, even some of his biggest fans and supporters are starting to turn their back on JiDion.
I mean, I respect it, you know, to a point if you really are trying to move with a moral compass. But let's be real though, like, you know, he did like kind of like, you know, stop posting for a while and all that before he did the prey catcher content and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And he wanted to get away from the pranks and all that and you know, full sin into God, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, he actually did do that before this prey catching stuff. But you still got to think about where he came from. Like, he's still a YouTuber. How else is he going to eat out here? Unless he wants to go get a job. Now, you don't want to do that. So, in the name of the good Lord, you know what I'm saying, he became a prey catcher. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you gonna do something strange for some change. What I'm saying all this to say is, bro, to sit there and try to, you know, download these apps and try to have these weird conversations with people. Oh, they have decoys or whatever. You're still looking at them chat logs. You're still looking at them men penis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you gotta be a little bit of a weirdo. Maybe not though. The police do it every day, so it's just a job, I guess. Just a job. Keep that in mind. That's what I'm saying.
Even some of his biggest fans and supporters are starting to turn their back on JiDion.
I am a huge fan of JiDion's content. I watch almost every single one of his videos, but after watching the EDP445 documentary and seeing all the details that was released on how he and Skeeter Jean botched the EDP445 situation that they had, and the way that he treated the victim, Kayla Hoskins, it really is starting to make me question if JiDion is really a good person.
And even though JiDion has come out making a video with receipts proving that everything that Kayla said wasn't,
You know what JiDion did when he did that EDP shit? He tried hella hard to do that shit. He was successful with it too. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew it would do numbers. Just like Chris Hansen. So he made a capitalist decision. You know, he made a capitalist decision.
though JiDion has come out making a video with receipts proving that everything that Kayla said wasn't 100% factual and that she's actually targeting him, there are still fans that are coming for his head because they're not really questioning JiDion's involvement in the content of it all when it comes to the EDP445 catch. They're asking themselves, has JiDion really changed and banned his old ways as a content creator for the better of him and society? If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long, long way. We're like really close to 185. I think we actually might get it today with this upload. You gotta be a part of that group that does hit that subscribe button. Now, back into the video. Look, I and other YouTubers have discussed the disgusting nature of the documentary that came out covering EDP445. Not necessarily because of how EDP445's actions were, albeit we can all agree that those were disgusting in and of itself, but the nature as to how they went about doing the documentary and the things that we discovered behind closed doors that got them to even catching EDP445. And this is where JiDion enters the situation. JiDion was a part of one of the first catches, or at least attempts to catch EDP445 in the act of texting underage people, but how he did it was very, and I do mean very, questionable based off of this documentary.
I think I was mainly a victim of JiDion. I feel like I was his puppet because I was just like kind of doing the things he demanded me to do. He encouraged me to keep talking to him.
This is Kayla, the 15-year-old decoy who
I mean, yeah, you gotta get the content. You gotta expose them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think at that point, like, I think the what you actually need to do in that situation is to avoid this. Oh, now she's more of a victim to JiDion than the EDP. Is you take over the conversation. You don't actually have this underage girl talk to this man. You know what I'm saying? You take over the conversation and play as if you're her, or have somebody do that. You know what I'm saying? If that's, like, if that's the right thing to do. Don't actually have her keep doing, like, what?
Was actually a 15-year-old in real life that was used in order to catch EDP 445 in an investigation about texting a minor. Now, what most people don't know is you can't do that. You can't use somebody that's actually a 15-year-old, somebody who's actually underage, in order to try to get them, the person that is being involved in this under.
Yeah, that's tough. But see, the thing is, I heard they said it was like JiDion's Discord or something. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he has a young audience and shit. So she was probably a fan in the Discord link. She, of course, she was probably down with it at first. You know what I'm saying? Like,
act caught up. You have to use a decoy. Like, that's a pretty.
But she didn't understand what that fully entailed, and that's why it takes an adult to step in and take control of that conversation.
Common thing in this situation. People started questioning the morals and ethics of the different things that JiDion and Skeeter Jean would do in order to set up EDP 445 before they decided to roll up on him. The documentary raises tons of questions about how Kayla, her mother, the evidence, and the police were all handled by the dynamic YouTube content creation duo, all for the sake of content. Hell, even Skeeter Jean himself even says that they prioritize the content of it all, which would ultimately lead to a non-arrest of EDP 445.
I think there possibly maybe could have been different results in this case if me and JiDion did not confront EDP or take the situation into our hands at all. That way, obviously, there's no content there, so it's like, eh.
And so while people were watching a documentary about a disgusting human being, they started to lay down the evidence, lay down the decision-making, lay down what brought these two to this point about how they would go about making this content. And it seems as though they found another villain in JiDion in a movie that was supposed to be about a villain EDP 445. The strangest part about all of this is that it is not just people who consume this documentary that know nothing about JiDion who are bringing his feet to the fire. Some of these people are actually fans. These are the people that actually give him the benefit of the doubt in these different situations, yet they are wanting to have questions be answered about the decision making and the choices that were made about this whole investigation that him and Skeeter Jean had. What really made me want to look into this story is because JiDion actually does come out and respond to all of the allegations that happened, but even in that response, you have a certain subsection of people who are still looking at him as if he is crazy. This tweet from a Twitter user says, one of these children was predictably groomed by EDP, and JiDion, instead of properly stepping in, used her as a decoy. Huge crime to use minors as decoys. So he could dress up in a cupcake costume with Skeeter Jean outside of EDP's dialysis center. Another Twitter user says, I honestly don't know what JiDion thought he was doing when he released his response. Hilariously bad. JiDion's week keeps getting worse. And albeit they do have some credibility there, I don't think that titling a video, I invited a known pred to a
yeah, I think that's valid criticism. Like, bro, you gotta take control over that conversation and shit, bro. Like, okay, if, say, EDP, engaged in her first, you know what I'm saying, and then, she brought it to EDP's attention, or JiDion's attention, which she need to bring it to her parents' attention. You know what I'm saying? But fuck am I saying? I'll go somewhere.
Discord server full of minors to see what would happen. It's probably the way that
I get what I'm saying.
A known pred, albeit they do have some credibility there. I don't think that titling a video, I invited a known pred to a Discord server full of minors to see what would happen, is probably the way that you.
But yeah, like I'm saying, say, okay, she was actually a victim. And it wasn't JiDion just set it up and, then you need to take control of that conversation. It's just that simple, bro.
would go about a response video, but hey, you got to get the clicks and the views, right? That's what Skeeter said. Where's the content in that? So what exactly does his response say? For what it's worth, JiDion does
And not just take control of the conversation. You need to inform the parents, first before you actually continue with the content and shit, bro. If you doing this in the name of the good lords, you know what I'm saying?
clear things up, but it doesn't address the bigger question that's being asked in the conversation that is new about JiDion. And what has been a he said, she said so far, JiDion drops a response video titled My Side of the EDP doc, in which he provides receipts, Discord messages, iMessages, police documents, and a bunch of different evidence that does help clear his side. He addresses a lot of the serious, and I do mean serious, allegations and narratives that Kayla, the 15-year-old decoy, has placed on him as to his involvement in the whole EDP capturing situation. He starts it off by clarifying the fact that he did not find a 15-year-old and place that person in front of EDP, which I think is actually very good that he did, because a lot of people were running with that narrative.
The reason why I gladly took the blame for EDP.
Yeah, so she was an original victim, brought it to his attention. You know what I'm saying? Which I believe, or I remember that being the case the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And she's actually a victim, brought it to his attention. But bro told her to keep talking to him. You gotta take control of that, bro. And then you need to inform the parents. Like that's bad. Before you take control over it, continue with what you do is you inform the parents, and whatever they decide to do, that's what it is,
meeting her through my Discord, because at the time I truly believe that's how you found
so if you want to continue to expose them, I don't think they'd probably have a problem with that. Like we'll say they're on Snapchat or something, log in, get her account. You know what I'm saying? She need to delete that account anyways. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. She probably gonna get in trouble though, so it's like JiDion don't want to get her in trouble, bro. You gotta be the adult. It's for the safety. She's not getting in trouble. She getting her phone took. Yeah, that's not trouble though, bro. That's protecting her. Cause she didn't know what she got herself into. You know what I'm saying? And she kept playing along with it, never told her parents. Maybe she did, I don't know. Assuming she didn't though, And that's how you end up in this situation.
and I wanted to take accountability for my role in this occurrence. But as it turns out, Kayla herself in the documentary stated that she had already been messaging EDP before I had even ever added him in my own Discord.
He also clears up the conversation about how the
before he added EDP into his own Discord. Is that right? With a bunch of kids, huh? See, these people act like they don't know their audience, bro. These people act like they don't know their audience. JiDion, India Love, or I said JiDion, DDG. All them niggas, bro. They act like they don't know their audience. It's fucking kids. my shit is 18. My shit is not even 18 to 24. It's 24 to 50 is the majority. You know what I'm saying?
communication went down, and more importantly, who played a role in continuing it and how they did that.
Now, fast forward to when I found out about this whole situation. When I first got on the call with her, I let her know I didn't feel comfortable with her talking with her being underage. So I came up with some clever ideas to where we could switch off and I could take over communication and she wouldn't have to. Here's one of those examples.
Okay, if that's the case, good. And you should have informed the parent though. She probably not gonna let you do that though, and that's the only way you can is through her, really, So
examples that I gave her. Maybe we could say something like, my parents switched providers and I couldn't get my number, so this is my new one. And then it'd be a number that we could text through. And granted, in that call, she did agree that that was a good idea, but she never gave over the communication to me nor Skeeter.
Now, the thing that I would say to JiDion, and this is speaking to his past self, which in later videos, he's claimed that he understood and would
like put yourself in her shoes, bro. You think she's gonna want to tell her parents? For whatever reason, I don't think so.
not do this going forward is that at that moment, granted,
Because it's at that point, it's like, what are you doing? Give me your phone. I'm gonna go through it, and she don't want that, like.
EDP is talking
let's
to
tell
a
JiDion.
15-year-old, but you have to figure out a way to wipe your hands clean with this situation. Clearly, this is a 15-year-old who has some sort of fandom towards you, a fandom towards the community, all these different things, and how they're going about this is ultimately not going to be beneficial for you. So sure, you got the clicks and views in it of it all. EDP was exposed to a YouTube audience, but the moral and ethical questions come into play. And to be honest with you, rightfully so in some regards, but I just would have moved away from her totally and then set up a separate sting option for EDP 445 in a way that was done properly, as opposed to continue to play around or use a 15-year-old that is not cooperating with you. Otherwise, we end up in a situation where we're ending up in where there's no actual legal action, and now she is, again, I don't think this is right, calling you out for what you've done.
Yeah. If she not willing to give you the information, that needs to be the end. But she can always go on and still say, oh, JiDion. But JiDion did end up exposing EDP. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but...
Two big takeaways from this to me was that JiDion disputes any sort of non-involvement with police. He says that he wanted to get the police involved, tried to get the police involved, got the police involved to some extent, but it just didn't go the way that he thought it would go.
Kayla gave me case numbers and detective numbers to call. I called the detective number and it was disconnected, and it took me like 3 years later to finally find out what police station she went to and everything. And she really doesn't have all the updates and everything, but luckily, since I deal with police so much, kind of figured it out and figured out where to look, bro. And I can confirm.
So she went to the police and said, where's the parents? That's the number one. Where are the parents?
That there is a case number associated with the account, meaning that there wasn't a report made. And also, not only was there a report made, but I confirmed with the police station that this case is currently with the FBI. Now, granted, even though it's with the FBI, I don't know if they're still actively investigating it, and I don't know if they'll do anything with all of this.
It's because EDP is high profile. That's the only reason why.
Personally.
Now it's in a situation where he's totally out of the loop as to what's going on.
All they told you is that they're notified and that they have their eyes open if they got something that's that serious to where they can arrest them. Or they might not arrest them at all. They might have swooped them up, right? FBI might have swooped them up, and that's why you see him with Chris Hansen now. Come on now, that boy on Epstein Island, chilling, living it up. Living it up. What's that NBA young boy? Living it up, living it up.
On as opposed to being a part of the investigation. But arguably the most damning thing that he needed to clear up, he did when he went out and disputed the claim about him forcing Kayla to be the bait in the whole EDP sting operation. He actually breaks it down about it being her idea to volunteer herself as tribute.
When I realized something was wrong, I spoke to a moderator in JiDion's Discord server. I explained the situation, and soon everyone in the voice call started asking questions. Someone told Insight about what happened, and he ended up joining the voice call.
Look at this weirdo.
As well, and asked me if I wanted to be bait.
Do you guys remember that VC call that I had showed you guys earlier? That's the VC call that she's alluding to. And the people in the VC were coming up with ideas to get EDP to come out in person. And then Kayla decided to give herself up as tribute.
Lure him to a hotel, yeah. Listen, inside.
How cool is it as a kid to you in that position? Oh, you can expose EDP, but you're never gonna tell your mom though. Nobody's ever gonna inform your parents until you're sitting down with Chris Hansen. I don't understand this.
Honest, I don't mind doing it, and I don't think my parents would mind.
Again, 15-year-old girl, I don't
First
expect much. So now that JiDion has said his side with receipts and everything like that.
I think your parents would mind, huh? They probably would. She just said that in whole time she never brought it to their attention.
It makes the situation look less black and white. Ultimately, it is a good thing that he had cleared his name of, especially like the decoy allegations and things like that. But a lot of the internet is still raising questions about his involvement, the morals and ethics behind the whole sting operation, and why he would do the things that he did. So you forced a teenage girl to keep interacting with a
he didn't force her.
potentially traumatizing her.
We just Yeah,
so you could get your content, dress up like a cupcake and go viral catching him, and the fat bag of shit is still free. King stupid. JiDion did this too.
This is what happens when there's no structure for real. You're just doing shit on a whim. That's what content creation is. That's what the industry is. You know, the only industries that's not like that is like television, bro. You know, there's actually structure behind that shit. You know, so there's no structure. So you doing shit on a whim.
2 years after Alex Rosen's sting and 3 months before his own sting operation on EDP. JiDion knew what he was doing at the time. This wasn't an accident. After that documentary, no one should even be trying to defend JiDion. Dude's a LARPer. And that's where the criticism becomes bigger than just Kayla. For what it's worth, pred catching is still content. You want the big reveal, you want the allegations, you want the dramatization, you want all of these viral moments. But what people have to understand is that's different than an investigation. And it's quite clear that based off of the actions, that's exactly what JiDion wanted. Less of an actual investigation, but more of a viral moment. Remember, Skeeter Jean even acknowledged that, you know, there wasn't any content if we didn't get involved, even if we fumbled the bag. For what it's worth, I do think that JiDion...
I mean, I feel like JiDion did a lot of some of the best work with the pred catching. You know, I feel like now I don't know the behind the scenes shit, but as far as what we see and how, you know, it seemed like, you know, he doing it all right, you know.
Wanted EDP to be caught. But I do think that JiDion decided that, hey, the content is gonna come first. When you involve content in these serious matters,
that's the business. That's what's gonna get you your next pred catch. That's what's gonna fund you. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, you don't hustle, you don't eat. The only way a pred catch can get caught is if we got resources to do it. You know? So we gotta make this shit go crazy.
sometimes you throw away your morals and your ethics because there is a viral video, a clip, or a banger to follow. Now, normally people would chalk this up to this being years ago, but that's not the case this time either. Literally last month, JiDion admitted that sometimes that content can get in front of my decision-making and judgment calls, and ultimately the end result is worse than it had to be.
Where are you arrested for? Disorderly person. Out here yelling.
Disorderly. You're under arrest for being disorderly.
Freedom of speech. You can yell on the sidewalk. Sitting here causing a scene. On the sidewalk. Yes. Officer, how fast do you think this is gonna get dropped? Do you really think this charge is gonna Do you want to waste your DA's time? Call Jake and have him get my lawyer.
Now, I've already covered the situation where JiDion got arrested last month while dealing with Skeeter Jean's grandmother. And I won't go back into that. If you want to watch the video, and you know, it'll all connect there. But ultimately, the story of the arrest isn't the biggest story in and of it all. It's his reaction to the aftermath of the whole situation that is actually very interesting.
I've done a lot of just like inward reflection, and I just kind of came to realize, you know, what I was doing wrong, and also came to realize that truly your boy was spiraling. You know, I was genuinely losing the plot. I had to pay 6+ figures for my lawyer fees. That money could have been used for the betterment of society, but now it's being used in the legal system.
The betterment of society? How about you play stupid games, win dumb prizes, nigga? The betterment of society, is that right? Yeah, the betterment of your fucking pockets. Just be real now. You played a stupid game and won a dumb prize, bro.
I've come to realize that, you know, genuinely streaming makes me the worst me. You know,
I think that's a very insightful revelation.
You know, content creation could very well, you know, clicks and views, yeah, could very well bring out the worst. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna bring out the worst in me though. It ain't that deep to me. You know what I'm saying? If I don't pop off being myself, I'll just continue to be myself till it pop off. You know what I'm saying? And somebody gonna fuck with a nigga. Somebody got.
about JiDion and how the impacts of streaming and streaming culture can make content creators push things to a different boundary. A conversation that I think a lot of streamers and content creators should be having to themselves. In that same conversation, JiDion talks about how seeing a chat say that a stream is boring or unentertaining can make him push things to a different level and go further than it needs to be. And I think that that's ultimately something that plagues a lot of streamers and content creators. Bear with me for a second. If you've ever noticed in any of the streamer clips or videos or moments that are going viral, you will see that they will do something, and then immediately after doing something outrageous or saying something outrageous, what is the first thing that they do? They go and they pick up their phone and they look at their phone for a second and they're quiet. The reason why they're quiet is because they are taking in how chat is reacting to said moment. And further down the line, if you know,
see one thing you gotta realize is there's an algorithm, and then there's your followers, or the people that actually fuck with you, your supporters, right? What that is that's doing shit for the algorithm. Oh, the stream is boring, let me do something. You're doing that to impress people that don't really even fuck with you for real. If you can't just sit here like I'm doing, you know, kick game or whatever it is, just be yourself, like, they're not fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do something, you know, for them to fuck with you. Like, you know, like, that's the only way. That's the only thing they're here for. They fake. They fake viewers. You know what I'm saying? As soon as your view count drop, they're gonna be like, you fell off and stop watching you. You know what I'm saying?
they'll do one of two things. They'll see a chat that's positive and say, hey, this is the lane that I should continue to go down. Or they'll see a chat that's negative and they'll try to switch up. And normally their switch up is, let me push a little bit further. That's exactly what JiDion is suffering from, and what I think he's been suffering from for a long time. If you look at JiDion's prankster career, he has made a living and a name for himself, pushing the boundaries over and over and over and over again. And after a situation that got pushed to the extreme limits of somebody that he was pranking getting fired at Target, JiDion decided to turn down that whole lifestyle and turn to a Christian route. He wanted to ditch the prankster content and pick up a Bible. And I'm not questioning that pathway that he went down. I think it's actually very admirable that he decided to put that lifestyle away. But ultimately, maybe it was due to chat. Maybe it was because there was this good thing in catching these people that text underage people that he thought was going to be good for him. The extreme content ultimately crept back.
It makes you wonder, was that just a whole plot though? Cause he was on that for a good minute though. You know, and then now he's doing prayer catches left and right. You know what I'm saying? Well, he probably, I think he did a couple of them first with like some people, you know, featured in a video type shit. You know. But it make you think, was that just a whole grift?
Back into his life. Instead of messing with strangers, he decided that he was going to expose these people who are doing these heinous acts. And again, while that is admirable, there's still an element of confrontation, conflict, and other things that still calls for a push to be had. But ultimately, in the lane of the pred catching field, there are some levels of danger that are involved in it that I don't think JiDion or these other people really realize. You see, a prank video can get JiDion kicked out of a grocery store or, you know, a public facility or whatever the case may be. But a pred catch can involve way too many people on serious things and serious allegations. And if fumbled and not done properly, you can ultimately end up in a situation where you've done all this work. Maybe you've got the public embarrassment of it all, but ultimately you just have one more pred walking the streets, not necessarily facing the justice that they should be facing. So when Kayla's allegations came out right after JiDion himself admitted that content can make him push situations further, people started connecting the dots. The content changed, the intentions of it all changed, but people are really questioning whether JiDion's instincts to push the content further ever did change. And that's why JiDion can have a reasonable response to the things that he was involved in with the documentary and people still not want him back. For what it's worth, JiDion's response to the whole situation does clear up a lot of different things. He said that he would take over communication. He said that he didn't push her to the point of, you know, being the decoy. He didn't place this 15-year-old in front of EDP EDP as a means to like use her as some sort of bait. And for what it's worth, I think that that context matters and it should be spoken about. So this isn't about saying JiDion secretly never changed or that his intentions with EDP were evil. That's not why people are turning on him. They're seeing a pattern. JiDion became famous by pushing situations further for content. He eventually tried leaving that behind through Christianity. Then pred catching gave him a reason to make extreme content again. And now we're seeing what happens when the same instincts exist in situations where the consequences are much, much more serious. Skeeter Jean can admit how the content of it all affected their confrontation and approach to EDP. Hell, JiDion wore a full-on cupcake outfit for the confrontation. If that's not screaming content, then I don't know what is. The 15-year-old decoy, Kayla felt as if she was used by the whole process. And just weeks before the whole
that nigga was kind of skinnier back then, bro. With the fresh beard lineup, JiDion was a little bit slimmer.
15-year-old decoy, Kayla felt as if she was used by the whole process.
Now he about big as
And just weeks before the whole documentary released, JiDion admitted that entertaining an audience, reading that chat, can get him to do things that he would normally not ever do. Put those morals and ethics away for the content that's supposed to live today. So maybe JiDion did genuinely learn and grow as a person, but now people are questioning whether he learned when that camera needs to be turned off.
Hey, man. You know, where you start,
Saucy Santana just,
you know, what I'm saying is, who JiDion was in the past is still a part of him, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, all that, when you still, if you want to be a real Christian, nigga, you gotta, you know, do away with the internet. Not saying you have to, but like, if that's what you want, don't even fool with the internet, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta eat. You gotta eat. It's your job. That's how you make your money. I get that. Hey man, y'all let me know what y'all think, bro. We on the road to 1 million. If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself. Because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at you on the next one, and I'm gone. See why I P the name. Alright, chat, that's just the end of that video, not the end of the stream, man. We're probably only gonna do one more, though, bro. The fuck was that? Alright. Let's see what else we got up there, man. It don't look like nothing. So, I know what we got. I think we got us a little Twitter video. Oh, I'm hungry. Or I'm tired. Here we go. Whoops.
Not paying their bill. Y'all, people are really not paying their bills. I know you guys have recently found out that there is a large portion of people that have just stopped paying their mortgage. They defaulted on their mortgage loan, and the banks are pretty much just like, it's so many, we can't even do nothing about it.
Is that right? Oh, they gonna do something about it. Trust me. They gonna do something about it. Cause I ain't heard about that. I ain't heard about the banks just they can't do nothing about it. I ain't heard about that. Now banks did collapse back in the C19 era. You know what I'm saying? Banks did collapse. But I don't know what you talking about.
It's so many, we can't even do nothing about it.
Is that right?
This is worse than 2008. The difference is they're not publicizing it. They're not causing widespread panic. I don't understand the game plan of them trying to keep this as a secret when we all know what's actually going on. I think the
yeah, the internet definitely knows what's going on.
reason why they're not saying anything or much about the financial situation is because once we all find out, the ones that still paying our bills, that everybody else ain't paying their bills, we'll also stop paying our bills.
No, it's just gonna be extra hard. At that point, it's gonna be it. You didn't see it coming. It's either you see it coming and you're preparing, or you don't see it coming and it's gonna be too late. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not paying your bills, you're the person who probably doesn't see it coming.
The craziest part about this is mortgages and rent and, you know, keeping a place over your head is typically the last bill that people stop paying. People will default on everything else. Credit cards is first thing, maybe even your car, but it's typically the car and the house.
It's sometimes the car is the last thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you gotta have that car though. Hey, I'd rather lose the house than the car. I wouldn't want to be homeless, no job, with an $800 car payment, because that's what the average car payment is these days. That would be tough. You know, but I mean, you got the car, you already lost the house, so I mean, shit, nigga, it's tough.
Car, but it's typically the car and the house that are the last things to go. And the fact that so many people are not paying their mortgage, and the fact that the bank ain't even foreclosing on them.
Bro, I don't know about that. There might be a lot of foreclosures, but they foreclosing on them. Let's Google this. Let's see. Are there currently so many foreclosures that banks are not foreclosing? Let's see. No. The premise is incorrect. While foreclosures filings have ticked up from historic pandemic era lows, they remain low overall and are nowhere near a volume that would overwhelm banks or cause a system-wide halt. This bitch is talking, man. That don't even sound right. You're telling me it's so many people defaulting that the banks just can't handle it. Get the fuck out of here. She's tweaking, y'all. Hold on, where are we at?
Or arranging to kick them out because it's too many speaks volumes. This is definitely worse than 2008. 2008 only went bad because the banks were intentionally giving out terrible loans to where they just inflated to an impossible amount to pay. Not that people didn't have jobs, not that people didn't have.
That's kind of what happened when they cut interest rates to zero. There was people buying homes for 0% interest, 1%. My parents got like 3.5%. They got lucky. Ooh, appreciate it like a motherfucker. I know that's right.
Money, it was simply because of the loan, the banks. They did that on purpose to cause the crash. But this situation here has been a long stretch of intentionally making the middle class take hit. Shoot, even the upper class take hit after hit after hit after hit. Let me ask y'all something.
If you're so-called upper class and you're taking hits, now, you know, things do change, you know, say taxes or whatever, inflation, understand. But if you struggling, paycheck to paycheck, that's your fault. You got problems. Figure it out.
Do y'all really think these people in Congress and in our government, local, state, and for the entire United States, do you really think that they're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and they don't know exactly what they're doing? Do you think they went to these prestigious colleges and these business schools and all this hoopla, all this extra stuff? They've been doing this for 20 plus years. You think they don't know what they're doing? They absolutely know what they're doing. It's intentional to bring us to our knees.
Yeah, it's called capitalism. They're investing and capitalizing on your broke ass.
It's intentional, and I 100% think it is going to get a lot worse. I think this is really just the beginning, and as you can see, it's becoming a food war. It's becoming a
food
water
war.
war.
A water war, huh?
And I think it's going to get pretty scary. I think human nature is going to start to come out, as it already has.
Oh shit, now.
So yeah, you just gonna have to pray.
Mother Nature. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what the fuck is going on in Oklahoma, but it's been 100 degrees for the last 2 weeks, and it's about to be 100 degrees this week. At least every bit of 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks. It's about to be 105 degrees this week. Temperature, that ain't what it feel like. That ain't including the insane humidity. This shit is wicked, Mother Nature. Oklahoma's like the hottest. Oklahoma, I looked it up. It's like Oklahoma, Arkansas. I literally searched what is the hardest states in the country right now. Let's do it live, so y'all know I ain't bullshit. Fuck that. What is the hottest states in the country right now? Well, this ain't what the fuck it told me earlier. Ranked by overall annual average temperatures. That's not what I'm talking about today. Jesus, right now you got. Bitch, I ain't tell you to type nothing. What is the hottest states in the country today? Jesus, bro. You know it's hot when I ain't turned my AC off. They say Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Mississippi, Arizona. They skip it right over. When I looked it up on my phone, nigga, it said Oklahoma. And it said Arkansas. They trying to skip over us. Nigga, it's hot than a bitch. Just know that. It's too damn hot. It's 100 on the wake up. You think I'm bullshitting? It's 90 degrees, nigga. Well, it feel good at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock in the morning. From 7 to 8:30. That's the strip of that's the time frame of daylight you got where it's gonna be less than 90 degrees. After that, bro, it's warming up to 100. 11 o'clock, it's 100 degrees. Until the sun goes away. No cap. So Mother Nature doing her shit today. Right now. Nigga, no cap, this is a severe. This shit like severe weather warning. It's been saying severe weather. It's been saying severe weather, bro. I swear to God, for the last month. Severe heat. This shit ain't no joke. Where we at? I'm hot right now. Shit.
So yeah, you just gonna have to pray. You're gonna have to pray and make sure that you're covered by God. There's no solution for this. I feel like these things must happen. It's gonna have to.
It's always hot.
This
in
whole
Phoenix.
system is.
Yeah, it do Phoenix and Las Vegas and shit. It be getting like 110. But bro, I'm telling you, that 110 is like 90 degrees out here, bro. Like no cap. 90 degrees feel like 110. 100 degrees feel like 100, cause we got 50 plus humidity at all times, and it don't rain. It ain't rained in a month, and it's still humid in a bitch. You walk outside, you sweat. I'm telling you, you walk to the mailbox and back, bro, you gonna break a sweat. It's time to take a shower. It's time to take a shower.
Don't have to come to an end.
Man, I've been seeing hella little memes and videos and clips and people that ain't even from here coming here saying it's different. I know it's different. It gotta be different, cause this ain't It wasn't always like this. It used to always get hot. Well, maybe it did used to always be like this, cause it's always been hot. I remember it used to get up to 110 before, when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? It cracked it before. I'm like, shit, I'm inside. Thank God I'm a kid. That was one of the summers I didn't step outside. Shit, nigga, what the fuck I'm supposed to do out here? Die? Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this, though, bro. We on the road to 1 million. If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this live stream. I'll get at y'all on the next one, and I'm gone. TYP tonight. Alright, chat, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. It's bedtime. Oh, it's bedtime, y'all. I'm gonna try to get some content tomorrow at the battle. Hopefully it goes smooth, man. Hopefully I can compete good enough after being tired and working hella hard. That's all I do, man. 7 days a week. I need a rest day. Need a rest week. We gonna get there, though. We gonna get there. Hey, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, bro.